Hello everyone, dear friends, subscribers and guests of my channel. You're watching the FiveStars channel. We are in Poland, in Silesia. This is Katowice and the entire metropolitan area surrounding Katowice. But right now, we are in Sosnowiec. And friends, on this channel, we will be testing different foods in Poland together. So make sure to subscribe so you don't miss anything. And to know which restaurants are the best around here, which restaurants are the best here. Especially now, there's a kebab boom in Poland. Kebab shops are literally everywhere, on every corner. That's why we need to try them all together, so we know which kebab is the best. And we'll start in Sosnowiec. Actually, we'll start at the train station. At the train station, we actually have 3 kebab places. There you go. They're all located right next to each other, and that's exactly where we'll start our kebab test. You might be wondering why my face is blurred. I'll answer that right away. I want to stay incognito for as long as possible, for as long as I can. Firstly, for my own safety, and secondly, so that people in the kebab shops don't recognize me, and we don't get any special treatment as a blogger. That's why I'll be hiding my face for as long as possible, until someone figures out who I am themselves. I'll put it that way. Why did I name the channel FiveStars? Because, my friends, we'll be rating places, bars, cafes, restaurants, fast food joints on a 5-point scale. We'll be paying attention to things like whether there's parking, how easy it is to drive up and park your car. We'll be paying attention to cleanliness and order inside the establishment. We'll also notice how the staff behaves, whether they handle money with their hands and then, with those same dirty hands after touching cash, wrap up our food, kebabs, and everything else. We'll be watching all of this very closely together, kind of like a 5-star inspector. That's why, for all these aspects, we've allocated half a star each. And that's how the evaluation will go, friends. Regardless of whether it's a kebab place or a restaurant, we'll take everything into account to bring you the best content, to show you the top-rated places according to the 5Stars channel, where you can eat deliciously, cheaply, and have a good time. If the establishment offers it, if there's a place to sit inside, a dining area, we'll consider that too. So that's the plan, friends. And in the meantime, I'm already on my way to the first kebab place. They're all located near the train station. There are 3 of them. But again, we're not going to do it the way other bloggers do, because a lot of bloggers compare several kebab places in one video right away. We won't do it like that. So we approach each individual kebab place individually, because each and every one is a completely separate establishment, and I truly think it's not really fair or just to compare it to another. So my dear friends, we will meticulously rate each and every place separately on a comprehensive 5-star scale. So let us proceed, my friends. Well, my friends, unfortunately there's absolutely no convenient place to park right here, so I'll have to diligently find a free parking spot somewhere else, perhaps a little further away, and then walk all the way to this particular kebab place to carefully order my food, and then of course come back. But it is important to note, there is indeed parking available, and that fact alone gives this specific place a solid half a star, because parking is in fact available. But I just wasn't particularly lucky. There's simply no free spot at this very moment. But what exactly can one do in such a situation? So my friends, after a few exhaustive laps around the entire station area, I finally found a suitable spot not too far from the kebab place itself, and now I'm heading in to purchase my food. The audio sound quality might be a little bit worse now because I'll be recording on a hidden discrete device. The video and the audio are both of a somewhat lower quality, but at least we'll be able to clearly see what's truly going on inside, completely incognito, my friends. We'll carefully make the order, and then we'll check out what kind of delicious meat is hanging on the rotating spit. Is it the usual common mass-produced stuff, or is it truly craft meat, meticulously layered in distinct pieces? Because if it's genuine craft beef, that's precisely what I'm enthusiastically talking about. Chicken is almost always done in pieces on the spit, with various different parts, the tender breast, the succulent thigh, all mixed together, to make it incredibly tasty, wonderfully fatty, and exceptionally juicy. That's precisely how they typically prepare chicken. But beef, if it's just a regular basic kebab, then it's usually ground meat, finely minced through a powerful meat grinder. They form it into a huge ball, put it on the spit, and then this ground meat ball gets grilled. So let's go, friends, into the fray. Let's get our first kebab for the first video and get started. We're on the left side of the train station, and with each episode, we'll gradually go into the next place, and the next, and the next. Let me remind you, there are 3 of them here at the train station. So, friends, we're already approaching the place. As you can clearly see, they're all neatly piled up right next to each other right here. So friends, we've made our purchase. Here is what we bought. Now let's see how much it cost us. So here's the receipt. The total price is 28 zlotys, because one kebab is 13 zlotys and the second kebab is 13 zlotys. Takeaway packaging is 2 zlotys. And here there's tax, no tax, back and forth. So it came out to 28 zlotys in total. We have 2 kebabs. As you heard, from the hidden device, we have 1 chicken, 1 beef, 1 chicken with mild sauce with non-spicy sauce. Why do I choose non-spicy? Because my statistics show that 90% of people don't like spicy food. So, friends, especially for you, we'll be testing only non-spicy ones because out of all my acquaintances and friends, I'm the only one who likes spicy. That is, out of 10 people, I'm the only one who likes things a bit spicy. Yeah, so... And besides, spicy food numbs your taste buds and you can't taste the meat, the sauce, or whether the vegetables are fresh or not. That's why, friends, we'll always be testing with mild sauce, something light, gentle, I don't know, just regular, not spicy sauce. So, friends, let's go. Let's move to the back seat, where we'll set up an improvised table. Here I have these special kitchen scissors to check the filling, cut the kebab in half, and show you what's inside, whether there's more cabbage, vegetables, or enough meat. So, let's head to the back. So friends, this is what our improvised table looks like. Let's see what the Indian packed for us there, because the seller, as you remember, was Indian. So what do we have here? Kurchakka. Let's start with the chicken. Napkin foil. Great, I like this already. Aha, and inside, friends, there's also a piece of paper given so that everything kind of stays together. This is what the kebab itself looks like. Well, I have to say, it's quite sizable. It fits right in your hand like this. Unfortunately, I couldn't get a scale today, but next time I'll definitely have one. This is what this kebab looks like. Pretty good. Let me just make sure I can see what I'm showing you on this monitor. Here's how it looks here, friends. Chick pick. Well, I have to say it looks pretty good. Yeah, but remember, we have scissors. We need to see how it's filled inside. So friends, we cut it right in the middle with scissors. And let's see what we've got here. Is it just cabbage in here or not? But as you can see, hopefully it's in focus for you there. But as you can clearly see, no, there's truly plenty of both fresh, crisp cabbage and tender, succulent meat. I got mine delightfully wrapped in dough, which means our delicious kebab isn't served in a traditional pita bread. There are actually several wonderful types of bread they thoughtfully use to perfectly wrap these amazing kebabs. Ours specifically comes with a delicate, flavorful sauce. and it's beautifully encased in soft dough, definitely not in pita. I personally don't particularly like pita. It's often far too tough and chewy for my liking, my dear friends. I much prefer it lovingly prepared in dough. So, let's take this very first exciting bite and truly see. Let's really feel and experience it together. By the way, let me just take a moment to smell it first. No, it's definitely not smelly. Sometimes you might encounter that really sharp, truly unpleasant odor, but here, in this instance, it genuinely doesn't smell bad. The dough smells distinctly like savory meat, and you can clearly discern the aroma of the rich sauce. There are no strong, overpowering, or off-putting smells whatsoever. My mouth is truly watering, friends, so let's go ahead and eagerly take the very first bite. I'll just tell you this, that the very first bite and the impression is pretty average. You really taste the cabbage, but you can barely taste the chicken. By the way, I don't know why, because you can see it here, but let's take another bite. But the first bite was kind of average for me. The sauce is, well, kind of like a slightly better mayonnaise, something like that. Now, for the second bite, friends, I took it from this side. Here there's more meat, as you can see, there's definitely more meat here, yeah. The filling is unevenly distributed. It's better when they first put the meat on the dough, then add the vegetables on top and pour the sauce over it. That way the meat is all around, and no matter where you bite, you still get meat and the sauce is inside, right? But here, well, it's kind of... The Indian guy was in a hurry because I wasn't the only one in the place. There were other customers too, some students came in for a snack. Well, let's take another bite. Again, from the other side, where the cabbage is. Well, I'll tell you this, now I'm getting some pieces of meat. Chicken. Oh, I got a nice piece of chicken. And I'll tell you this. The chicken, in particular, boasts a remarkably pleasant taste, and it comes with a subtle, authentic Indian touch. The place is famously called Ali Spicy Kebab, which is indeed a clear and direct reference to its rich Indian cultural themes. Ali is an Indian name. So, now that I got a bit further, I found more chicken in it. Yes, you can really feel here. A subtle flavor, but honestly, friends, it's not overpowering, just a gentle taste of Indian spices. Well, I'll tell you this, we're done with the chicken, and now, friends, let's move on to the beef. I don't know if you could see it well in the video from the hidden device. The beef is unusual, an unusual ball, yes, and the ball is layered. So there's a chance that this might even be some kind of craft product, so to speak. Of course, I really doubt that, but there's a small chance. Alright, let's open up the beef. This is how it greets us, friends. Take a look. The beef is right inside. It's practically falling out of there. But we're not too interested in the bait at the front here. We're interested in the overall completeness. Since it's completely filled, so we're going to cut it open and take a look together, friends. Oh, it's going to spill out, but that's okay. I'll just cover it with my hand like this. At first glance, the filling looks pretty good. Friends, let's see. Some pieces of meat have fallen out. I'll just test these pieces of meat, friends. And also the distinct smell. Well, it's definitely not smelly at all. The meat itself isn't malodorous. In fact, it's quite good, possessing a delightful aroma that smells exactly like fresh, high-quality meat. I genuinely don't detect any off-putting or unpleasant odors. And the taste, oh, the taste is exceptionally good too. Perfectly and nicely salted with a distinct, rich flavor of beef. Now let's take this very first bite, my dear friends, accompanied by the delicious sauce. You see, they truly managed to achieve it with premium beef. I sincerely hope you can observe it clearly and well. There's tender beef generously wrapped all around, which is precisely how it should be meticulously prepared and wrapped. You see, inside this wonderful creation are fresh vegetables and a savory sauce, while the flavorful beef is prominently featured on the outside. Here, the overall filling is absolutely excellent and satisfying. I got a fresh cucumber, that's nice. I like cucumbers. By the way, there's not too much cabbage, friends, just a minimum of cabbage. Good, the meat is good. For 13 zlotys, it's small, friends. But honestly, it's worth it, I'll tell you that. Tasty. The sauce is very basic. It's just to make the kebab a bit juicier, really. Yeah, I think it's a good mayonnaise like this. Maybe with a light addition of tomato sauce, because there's a bit of tanginess and a kind of tomato flavor to the sauce. I can't say it's ketchup, but most likely it's tomato sauce. Alright friends, let's take a second bite. Well, let me put it this way. I've definitely had much tastier kebabs before, but for 13 zlotys, this little guy is actually pretty good. The meat doesn't have a bad smell. It's incredibly tasty, perfectly and properly salted, and you can truly and distinctly taste the wonderful spices. You can absolutely tell it's premium quality beef, not, say, some other type of meat, which is a significant difference. It doesn't taste like pork, it doesn't taste like lamb. So overall, it's actually a pretty decent little kebab for 13 zlotys. Alright friends, let's sum things up. I'll put these two kebabs here so you can see them. The chicken one is less filled, because chicken will always be more expensive than a regular meatball, like this one, right? Because in a regular ground meatball, well, there definitely weren't chunks of beef in there, that's for sure. It was a regular meatball, but not quite regular. In other words, it was made in balls. This beef, it was in balls. Yes, it came in balls. So, well, that's how it is. What can I say about each one? The chicken one doesn't have much chicken filling. There's more cabbage. As for the beef one has a good amount of filling. The taste is good. There aren't many vegetables. The sauce is just regular mayo. It's a slightly tastier mayo with a light addition of tomato sauce. Well, let me put it this way. For 13 zlotys, you shouldn't expect any Michelin star culinary masterpieces. But for 13 zlotys, it's actually not bad at all. Would I come back for this kebab? Well, I probably would. If I was really hungry, yes. I think I would come back for it. Now friends, let's rate it with stars. So, parking is available. We found parking and it's about 15 meters from the car to the place. I walked about 15, maybe 20 meters at most, which is fine. So, for parking, we give half a star. The location is convenient, right in the city center, another half a star. We went inside, friends. Into the establishment. I can't say the place was exactly dirty, but it could definitely use some renovation. The tables weren't cleared, but the kebab master was alone. There was no one else working there. He was by himself, so it's understandable that he had to make and sell kebabs rather than go around wiping tables. But overall, the place was quite pleasant and well kept. Yeah, of course, the grease is always flying around. The vapor from the fat makes everything a bit yellowish and sticky. It's a bit greasy, but that's just how it is in kebab shops. Friends, you can't escape it. It's the same in every kebab place I've been to. But it was clean enough, so we're giving a second star for the fact that there's a place to sit down and it's decent. Cleanliness is okay. It wasn't super shiny, but still, we're giving a star. 1 star for parking and location, and another star for having a place to sit inside. Yes. That's it. Let's move on. The menu was really big. They had burgers, fries, and some things in boxes, some not in boxes. By the way, you can rewind to the part where I filmed the menu with a hidden device. I recorded it, so you can pause the video and look at the full menu, and the prices are quite reasonable. The prices, by the way, do not match what is on our receipt, because the small one in the test was 11 zlotys according to the price tag. Well, obviously that tag has been hanging there for who knows how many years, and they cannot be bothered to change it. People just come, order, they ring it up, and that is it. But overall, friends, everything is actually pretty good for that kind of money. For that kind of money, you come in hungry, eat, and go on your way. So for the variety, we're giving another star, and friends, we're giving 1 star for the taste. We're deducting half a star, friends, for the poor chicken filling. And we're deducting another half star, friends, for the ordinary sauce, just regular mayonnaise with a bit of sour tomato sauce. That's all there is to it. There's nothing special about this sauce. To me, it just tastes like yogurt, Greek yogurt, you know, that tangy Greek yogurt, thinned out a bit with the fat that drips off the meatballs, and then a little tomato sauce added just to cut through that fatty taste. That's it. It's neither good nor bad, more or less everything is fine, so this kebab gets a 4 out of 5 stars from us, friends. I'll say it again. There's parking, we managed to park, and it's not far to walk to the kebab place. That's the first star. The second star is for the premises. The place is more or less decent, not too dirty. Everything is as it should be, friends. The third star, for this price, friends, the kebabs are actually pretty good. And the fourth star, friends, is for the taste. The beef is good, the chicken too. It's good, everything is fine with us. -1 star for the sauce is nothing special. And -1 star because there's not enough chicken, more cabbage instead. So that's our review, friends, of Ali Spicy Kebab in Sosnowiec at the train station, right by the station. By the way, yes, for a kebab place near the station, it's actually pretty good. I just hope that when I finish eating this, it doesn't mess me up. And you'll find out about that in the next episode, friends, when we test out their neighbor. They're all lined up on the same little alley, friends, all on the same alley. There's Ali Spicy, then the next one, and a few shops down, another kebab place. So friends, subscribe so you don't miss anything. Here, we're testing and searching for good food for the lowest prices in Poland. There will be kebabs, there will be friends, Chinese restaurants, there will be expensive restaurants, and in Poland some very popular ones, the Poles call them milk bars, that is, bars. These are like our cafeterias, you know, so we'll also test out some cafeterias with you. You can eat there cheaply and heartily. For about 20 zlotys, you can really fill up. So friends, I invite you to subscribe. Also, in the comments, let us know which city you live in and which kebab in your city you like the most, and we will definitely come and try it out. That's all for now, everyone. Goodbye, enjoy your meal, make yourself some tea, and let's go, friends.